In these next couple examples, it's going to be a little more difficult, and this one in particular because we have fractions. Well, I have the 1/2 here and the 1/3. Somehow I'm going to have to put those together because I'm going to want to subtract 1/3 x from both sides. We want to get the x's on one side. So we have 1/2 minus 1/3. Well, let's think. If I were just doing 1/2 minus 1/3, let's just think about that with regular fractions. Don't have to worry about the variable right now because we're just subtracting the coefficients. How do we do that? Well, we'd have to have a like denominator, something that both 2 and 3 can multiply to. Well, I know that both 2 and 3 go into 6. They're both factors of 6. And how would I get to 6? 2 times what would give me 6? Well, 2 times 3 would give me 6. And of course, I've got to multiply the numerator by 3 as well. So I'm multiplying by 3 over 3 here. Well, 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. So 1/2 is the same as 3 over 6. Next, I have 1 over 3. Well, 3 times 2 gives me 6. So I'm going to multiply by 2 over 2. 1 times 2 is 2. 3 times 2 is 6. So I have 3 over 6 minus 2 over 6. Alrighty. So all I have to do now is just subtract my numerators. 3 minus 2 is 1 over, and we leave the 6 as just a 6 here. So I'm left with 1/6. So 1/6 x minus 8 equals 5. When you see fractions, keep calm. Don't worry. You will be okay. Next one. We're going to add the 8. We want to undo subtraction, so we're going to do addition. Add the 8. We get 1 over 6 x equals, and 5 plus 8 is 13. Awesome. Next part. Well, I have 1/6 times x. How do I undo multiplication? I divide. So I'm going to divide by 1/6. Now, we can think back to Algebra 1 and say, well, dividing by a fraction is the same as multiplying by what? It's the same as multiplying by its reciprocal. So 13 divided by 1/6 is the same as 13 times 6 over 1, or just 13 times 6, because 6 over 1 is just 6. So 13 times 6 is 78. Which means our answer is x equals 78. And we're donezo. Last one for solving equations. Here we have 4x minus 2 times 8x minus 3 equals 3 minus 6x. Well, I see that I can distribute on my left-hand side. I'll do that first. I get 4x minus 16x plus 6 equals 3 minus 6x. All right, let's combine my like terms now if I can. Well, I see that I can combine these two here. 4x minus 16x gives me negative 12x plus 6 equals 3 minus 6x. Awesome. Now, I want to get my x's on one side, my numbers on the other. Well, I see that if I add 12x to both sides, this is going to give me x being positive, and I like positive numbers. So we'll add 12x to both sides, and I'm left with 6 equals 3 plus 6x, because negative 6 plus 12 gives me positive 6. Now I can subtract 3 because it's positive 3 and I want to undo that, so I subtract 3 and I get 3 equals 6x. And lastly, I'll divide by 6 and I get x equals 3 over 6, which reduces to 1/2. Not too bad. We end up with a fraction for our answer, but it's not too bad.